And we're back. And we're glad to be back with Nye County, where we'll be talking about some of the things that are going on in Nye County, as well as the town of Pahrump, since we are filming here in Pahrump. And I have with me as my guest for this session, Bill Kohbarger. And now, Bill Kohbarger is the former town manager of the town of Pahrump. And I need to say how I met him. I had arrived in the town of Pahrump back in August of 2008. Did not know much about Pahrump at all. So I started attending meetings. And that's when I met the new town manager at that time. And we became friends. And I noticed that he was very, very concerned about the people, the things that were going on in town, and just overall everything in Pahrump. And so we got to talking about certain things. I had no intention of ever becoming a town board member or getting into politics or anything else. And one of the things that we wanted to make sure that this show is all about is to keep it non-political. And that's, I think, we can do. So when we talk about Nye County, we want to talk about the positive things for Nye County, the positive things for Pahrump. And one of the things that I saw that was very positive was Bill Kohbarger and his entire family. But in just getting to know Bill, very, very positive about the town of Pahrump and the people in Pahrump. So, Bill, I want to welcome you to this segment of the show.
Thank you, Dr. Waters.
And at the same time, I do want to ask you how things are going with you.
Well, things are going pretty good with us now. And I say us because, you know, I always talk about my family when I talk, when I speak, not when I talk. I'm working. I'm back collecting a paycheck.
Very good. Okay.
I enjoyed my time off. I did a lot of coaching with my son, baseball and basketball. We did a lot of little day trips, just him and I. The wife is working, so we're a two-income family and doing really well.
Okay. And your son's name is Noah?
Noah.
And how's Noah doing?
Noah's 11 years old, 5'1", about 105 pounds, and he is doing incredible. He made the All-Star team for the second straight year in a row with Little League Baseball. They had two pretty good games, but unfortunately lost both.
Oh, gee.
They went against some really tough competition in District 4.
Okay.
You know, last year Mountain Ridge won the title, and this year the Henderson team made it all the way to the West Regionals. So it's a good competition, great Little League Baseball in Southern Nevada.
Okay. You know, when you talk about Noah, and the things that you and I have been involved in together, and I'm talking about Rotary and some of the other things, and Noah was always right there as well, learning what service above self is all about. And how is he handling sports?
He loves it. He's very much a team player.
Okay.
Cheers on the other guys just as much as he cheers himself on.
That's what I want to hear. Okay.
He loves basketball and baseball. He's a pitcher and a second baseman. Loves playing first base too. You basically will play any place that the coach puts him. And in basketball, he loves handling the ball. He's been learning how to dribble behind his back and between his legs. Working on the outside shot. And I told him, look, at your young age, just drive. Just drive. You're going to get fouled, and that's good. Just drive. So he's having a lot of fun with that.
It sounds like Dad's very proud of him.
You know, Dad is very blessed. So I told my boss last night on the phone, we had a conversation. I don't know what I did right or something negative happened to me, but God said, I'm going to give Bill the greatest little boy possible. And he definitely did it. Noah is, I call him my godsend, my little man. But there hasn't been a day since he's been alive where I haven't had a smile on my face because of him. He is polite, you know that.
Yes.
He's talked to you on many occasions about the Air Force and the Navy. He is smart. He won the county spelling bee when he was in 5th grade. So he's trying to be a Renaissance man. Very smart, very athletic, and good all around. Instead of just being a dumb jock or being one of those guys who really are nerdy and really smart, he wants to be a combination of both. And he's doing it.
Okay. How's he doing in school?
Straight A's, as usual.
Straight A's.
He's now in 6th grade in the middle school. And I know they had a little scare there 2 days ago, which unfortunately I was in Vegas. I didn't like too much. I found out about it after the fact. So I talked to him after school about it, because you know they were on lockdown.
I know about it.
And I asked him, I said, well, Noah, you know, what'd you think? He's like, well, you know, Dad, we had our first real code red, because, you know, they practice it.
Yes.
I said, were you afraid? He's like, no, I wasn't afraid. I said, was anybody in your class afraid? He's like, yeah, but, you know, I patted one of the kids on the back, and, you know, we all kind of took care of each other and made sure that, you know, we were all safe. And the teacher told us all about some of the code reds she's been through in her long teaching career, and so it wasn't that bad. I'm just glad nothing happened.
Okay. I want to go on with that, but one of the things that I wanted to say is the schools always practice it, but we don't want to publicize exactly what they practice all the time. But we do want the kids to understand exactly what it's all about. And as a former school administrator, as soon as I heard about it, of course it got my attention. But in listening to what the principal said, they were prepared.
It sounds like it very much.
And the students were never in danger.
Yeah, correct. And that's the good thing.
Yes.
You know, it happened outside, and I'm not really sure of the facts. I read a little bit on online, but you know, you take anything you read online with about 7 grains of salt, especially the blogs, which I have learned since about 2009 you do not read, because anybody that knows how to operate a computer can put their fake name on there and write anything they want, because they don't have the backbone or the stamina or the intelligence to come out and state who they really are to carry on a face-to-face conversation. And so I don't read the blogs, but
And it's always an opinion.
Right, I read the articles, and it said, you know, it was an outside, it's something that happened, but they were being precautious. They shut the school down, which they should have.
Exactly.
They took all the right measurements. The Nye County sheriffs, I understand, did a phenomenal job responding. And the kids just did a great job, and after it was done, they went, you know, no biggie. Hey, beyond, you know, we're 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. We're just carrying on with the day.
And that's what it's all about. I wanted to ask you that because when we look at Nye County School District, and the superintendent is Dale Norton, I think they're doing a fantastic job. All the principals, assistant principals are doing a fantastic job. No matter which school I look at, whether it's the high school, middle school, elementary schools, it doesn't matter. Well, they are doing a fantastic job in Nye County.
Mr. Wambaker, I've known him since Noah started school, because he started at Mount Charleston and then went out to the middle school. And Mrs. Weir, I coached her son baseball. And she is an incredible lady, very smart, great personality. And she has a daughter who was an all-star in softball, and I used to kid her son, yeah, you got to, you know, grow up and be as good as your older sister. And he'd look at me like, yeah, whatever, you know. But you know, she was one of those types of parents. Hey, if you want to yell at my kid, go ahead. You want to make him run, please do. You want to give him extra push-ups, I'll take it. You know, and she never had a problem with the way we coached, and she was always supportive of us, no matter if we yelled at her kid or if we praised her kid. And she knew how to be a Little League parent. And her family's really good. They came and cheered him on all the time. And then, like I said, the daughter was an all-star in softball. She was a talented young lady. And now I know the son is big into bowling, because I saw him in the bowling alley a while back, and he was doing a phenomenal job. He knows how to knock those pins down.
I get, you know, as with my background in education, I always enjoy talking about the school system. The fact that we take care of our students, we keep them safe, we want them to learn and be productive citizens. Everything that you've said about Noah, everything I know about Noah, says that's exactly the right direction, and he's headed in the right direction. But he's with other students and encouraging other students to do the right thing as well.
He has a really good friends base.
Okay.
And a lot of the guys on the baseball team, they're sticking together. And, you know, most of the kids were a little bit older than him in 7th and 8th grade. And they took him and Jonathan, who were some of the younger players who were first year in 6th grade, and made sure their first week was good. You know, made sure they got to the classes and no one was picking on them. And they stick together, and that's a good thing.
Yes.
And, you know, they talked about, you know, what would happen if somebody was picking on one of the younger kids, you know, who they could go to. And it was really good to see the older kids telling, and I mean older kids, they're 12 and 13, 11, 12, and 13, but it was good to see the 12 and 13-year-olds telling the 11-year-olds, look, when you get into 6th grade, the 8th graders are going to try and do stuff. If they do, you come to us, we would talk to them, we know who they all are, you know, and you'll be okay. So it was good to see that. It was great to see the older kids doing that.
This is beautiful. And that's exactly what I like to see in the schools where I was principal or assistant principal and thoroughly enjoyed it. I'd love to see us taking care of our kids. And I also want to put a quick shout out for the ROTC and the ROTC cadets. I think these kids, they're talking about love of country and loving the United States of America. And we need more of that.
Yeah, we need a lot of that. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like people support that in this county, and if they do it in a wrong fashion. And I'm speaking basically the 5 around the table, the county commission, which I know you don't want a political thing here, but and I wasn't too happy with their resolution a few months back about supporting Bundy and the BLM, against the BLM. You know, the BLM handled it wrong.
Yeah.
And let's face it, you know what I think of the BLM.
Yes.
You've been in several meetings with me in the BLM. You know what I think of them. But to put out a resolution supporting a criminal who ultimately had a bunch of other gun-toting individuals from Utah come in and threaten the federal government and local law enforcement, and 2 of those individuals went and murdered police officers, and the county commission backed them with a resolution.
Okay. You know you're going to get a lot of calls on that. We are out of time on this segment, and I do want to go ahead and just say that I really appreciate hearing about what's going on with you, with your son, with your family, and the school system. Again, I think Nye County is moving in the right direction. We've got good teachers, a good education system. We're not where we want to be.
No, we're not,
but we're heading in the right direction. Thank you, and we'll be back.